Hey there everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and we have beaten Manchester United by 3-0 this afternoon. An absolutely outstanding victory from Arsenal. The opening 20 minutes of that game, that first half from Arsenal was absolutely mesmeric, and it absolutely makes up for what was an absolutely disappointing and dismal display in the Champions League in midweek. Focusing on the Premier League, we're now 16 points, level with Manchester United at this moment in time, 2 points behind league leaders Manchester City. And given that United haven't travelled to the bridge yet, they haven't played Crystal Palace away from home at Selhurst Park, arguably we've had more difficult fixtures. I'll leave that one up for debate. I think we're in a very healthy position. I'm certainly feeling very rosy with how Arsenal are doing in the Premier League at this moment in time. Despite how we've done in other competitions, looking at the Champions League most notably, it has to be said that our start to the Premier League has been rather formidable given the teams that we've come up against. So certainly this was an excellent victory for us today. It puts us in a really good position heading into that international break. We've got a nice couple of fixtures coming up afterwards, and generally this game was just absolutely surreal. To be 3-0 up within 20 minutes is very rare for Arsenal, especially against Manchester United. And I expected a lot more from United today. They're a very good team, and I certainly wasn't underestimating them going into the game. If we put in this kind of performance every week when we don't actually underestimate a team, we've got a very good chance of winning the league. It's just we've got to put this kind of performance in consistently. The understanding between the likes of Walcott, Alexis and Mesut Ozil up top is phenomenal now, and if we continue to play in this kind of fashion, then we really can do something this season. It's just a case of not underestimating teams. I do kind of get the sense that it's a mental issue because it was a very similar team that played in midweek against Olympiacos that featured today. So, I mean, we've just got to get past that barrier of underestimating teams, and we should be putting teams like Olympiacos to bed. But today's win, 3-0 against Manchester United, I've said that a few times now, but it really does feel great saying that back to myself. The team was a very robust one that pretty much predominantly plays for us now. Aaron Ramsey featuring on that right hand side, Ozil through the middle, Walker in that centre forward role, and Alexis Sanchez on the left hand side. Per Mertesacker coming in for Laurent Koscielny, who was of course absent for the game. I thought Mertesacker had a very good performance, and as well as that, Gabriel, who's now come into the team for quite a few number of games now. It's I believe it's reported that Arsenal are yet to concede a goal in the Premier League with Gabriel in the side. He's proving to be revolutionary at the club at the moment. Coquelin in front of them just probably had one of his best performances in an Arsenal shirt. I love the guy's passion, I love his drive for the team, and he's one of the most desire-driven players in this Arsenal setup. I've got so much love and time for Coquelin. Hector Bellerin and Monreal were absolutely superb today. Really did keep the likes of Memphis Depay quiet, and I thought they all round had very good performances. We dealt well with the threat that United had. We came up against the likes of Rooney, Mata, Memphis and Martial today, so certainly not players that you should underestimate. So I think our defence did really well today in coping with the threat that United had, and we even saw Memphis get the hook at half time because he had been so nullified in the game. So the way this game started off, it couldn't really have started off in better fashion. We were constantly pressing United right from the off, and during about the first 5 minutes or whatever, we got our first goal through Alexis Sanchez. It was great work by Mesut Ozil on that right hand side, playing the ball into Alexis Sanchez with a very audacious finish here with the back heel behind him into the back of net past De Gea. Another goal for Sanchez. The guy's confidence must be well and truly restored now, playing some brilliant football for Arsenal. Put us 1-0 up, and at that point we just continued to harass this Manchester United defence, going 2-0 up almost immediately after. Great work by Theo Walcott this time, and although Walcott didn't get on the score sheet this afternoon, his contribution, his work rate for the team, he was putting some great tackles in as well. He was absolutely phenomenal to the way Arsenal played today, and pivotal in that centre forward role. He played the ball into Mesut Ozil, a very good finish past De Gea from Ozil, a much needed goal for his confidence, and Ozil, similarly to most of our other players today, was absolutely outstanding. We just continued to pressurise this Manchester United side, and what I felt let United down was that they were playing so high up. I think they kind of played a little bit of a suicidal game by playing Carrick and Schweinsteiger in the same team, because they both pressed so high up and they had no player that was really sitting back, covering the defence, doing something that Coquelin does. I think United would have benefited a lot more by playing Schneider in this game, but it left Ozil with so much room to manoeuvre, and again United were punished by going 3-0 down, this time for Alexis Sanchez. Walcott involved in the goal again. It's 2 assists in this match for Theo Walcott. Walcott plays it across to Alexis Sanchez. Alexis does one of his just unique goals, one of his trademarks really, taking it past a couple of defenders and placing it into the top right hand corner of the net. David De Gea stood no chance. An absolutely world class goal for Theo Walcott, and it was very reminiscent of the goal we got against Liverpool last season. In fact, this whole match was in terms of how good we were throughout the course of the game. So 3-0 up in such a short space of time, it should have been more. It really should have been. Alexis Sanchez was absolutely terrorising Darmian throughout the match, and as you can see, Darmian got the hook at half time. Valencia was brought on, And we did have more chances to score. Oxlade-Chamberlain had a chance at the end of the game, hitting the crossbar. The one that really stands out to me, though, is that one that Aaron Ramsey had in the first half, where it was just put on a plate for him. It was actually harder to miss, I think, but he managed to do it somehow with an awful, awful touch. And it should have been 4-0 going into half-time. But then Giroud had a good chance as well. I mean, it could have been 5 or 6 to Arsenal today. We were that rampant throughout the course of the match. In that second half, not too much to report on. We did take our foot off the gas a little bit. Allowed United a lot of time on the ball. I can't really think of any clear-cut chances that they had. But for what they did do, Petr Cech dealt with to an excellent standard. I think Martial had their best chance of the game. He was probably United's best player. Lots of pace getting in behind. But Mertesacker and Gabriel, plaudits to them because they did play well in coping with the threat that they had up top. But Mata was nullified. There was an extreme lack of creativity from United, and overall a very disappointing performance from them. It's not the same United team that I saw play against Wolfsburg in midweek, but don't get me wrong, I'm extremely glad that we've got a win over them, a much needed win. It's been long overdue since we've had a win over United, and a 3-0 win is an excellent result and should fill this Arsenal team with some much needed confidence after the international break. So all round, a 3-0 win to the Arsenal. Couldn't be happier. Leave your thoughts on this afternoon's game in the comments box below. Who was your man of the match? It's obviously got to go to Alexis Sanchez in my opinion, but the whole team was absolutely superb. Petr Cech in goal, let's not forget him. He had a really good performance, and it's all round a really good team game, and we've been merited with a 3-0 win. But like I say, leave your thoughts in the comments box below. Let me know your man of the match. Like this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, and I'll speak to you soon.